Hi, Daiho. I just wanted to give you a few minutes intro of how the website works. So I'm using this framework called Astro. It's run on this page. It's used by a number of companies. It's a good framework to use. And the way I do it, it involves three different computers. Let me bring that up. So here in my laptop, everything runs on my laptop. Is where I write all the code for the website, including the blog posts. And it's also where I test the blog post to make sure it looks good, to make sure I didn't make any errors. So before I send it anywhere, everything's done on the laptop locally. When I'm pretty happy with the change, I send it to GitHub, another computer that exists on the web. And so it's the repository for all that code that generates the website. The other computer I use is Cloudflare. It's a web service that hosts websites, among other things. And how that works is Cloudflare automatically notices that I made an upload to GitHub, so it notices that there's been a change. And so it gets that code and hosts it on the website. So it involves these three kind of computers in combination. So let me just quickly show you how it currently works and how we might want to change it. So let me bring up the code here quickly. All right, so this is just an editor on my laptop, and it's showing let me just make it a little bigger here. Hold on. All right, so it's a little bigger. So this is the code for the web page, the initial web page you get to when you first go to this site. And so I make those changes here. And here are the blog entries. So you can see that this part here is static. It has to be present in all the blog posts. And so it has obvious things like the publication date, the title of the post. This description I'm not using currently, so it can be anything you possibly want. This author does show up on the blog post. So then once you get this header written, and it has to be in that format, then you can go ahead and write the blog post. So there's nothing special, it's just a text file. So once I save that blog post, then let me bring up the terminal on my laptop. Hold on one second. Then I can test it locally. So this is just running on my laptop. And so I can check to see if there's any errors. So this gives me the web page to go to. I'll do that. Let me just open this. Go to that website. And there's the website that's just running locally. So it's not the one we see on Organ Mountain Zen. It's just running on my laptop, just so I can check to make sure I didn't make any big errors. So once that's done, well, I'm pretty happy with it. Let me just edit a page quickly so I can show you how it's saved. I'll just add a period to the end here and save it. All right, so then I can push it to that GitHub repository. So I do that by, well, let me just, so I'll just add that what I made the change to. Then whatever change I made, so I can just say added period. Kind of a dumb comment. And then I can push it to that Git repository that's on the web. So there. So now that's all out of my hands. Now once it's pushed there, it automatically, Cloudflare will automatically determine that there's been a change and add it. Let's see if that works. This generally takes a while, but we can take a look to see if. And it was the blog. I forget which one it was. Civil Society. Nope. Sorry. Okay, so it didn't make the change yet. There's no period. So let me just refresh it here. And now you see that I picked up that change and uploaded. So that's the current workflow. Now, if we don't want to do that testing locally on our laptop, we can save a step, I think, but it's at some risk that we may enter an error into the website. But we can get rid of this laptop, edit directly on GitHub, and send it off to Cloudflare. And let me just show you how that might work. So let me go to GitHub. Whoop, that's not what I want. Okay, and I have lots of repositories all that I belong to, but the Zen one is the one where we have all this information. And we can go to this source. So it's kind of a standard layout here. And we saw that there's this folder called Pages. We can see that the comment was that I added a period. And let's go ahead and just add a post. Okay, so this is, excuse me, so this is GitHub where all the files are that create the website, and the posts are here under Pages and Posts. So we can create a new one. So the formula is post and then the number followed by .md. So I'll add a file, create a new file, post4.md. So now we need that header that I mentioned, and I'll get that. Okay, and we'll change this to be test 17, I don't know, just a number. And the author's the same, the date we need to change, so 26/2/11. And then after this divider, we can say the bulk of our post, body of post. Just add a space there. Okay, now I'll commit changes. That means it'll add them. So I have just to check that I named the post right, post4.md, and I have that all information, and I'll commit the changes. So create post4md. That all looks good. Commit to main branch. We go here to this end, go home, and now we look at the blog entry. So still nothing. Let's okay, and we get the new blog entry, and there it is. So it's being hosted right at the beginning. So that's the easiest method I could come up with. If that doesn't work, we can investigate hosting it some other way rather than using that Astro, which is what I showed you on the first page. So that's it. I hope that helps, and we'll figure out where to go from there. Thanks. Bye.